I'm gonna be real. It wasn't if I was like unattracted to him or not. But I don't know. I really have no idea how to answer that because it's not that I think he's unattractive.
What are you? I have a question.
Okay, let's hear from TJ. Go ahead.
What are you attracted to?
It's like physically, right?
Yeah, physically.
And see, when I say this, because I said this on live and I know what y'all about to say, but like if I had to like pull a guy out of a catalog, he's gonna be 6 feet and up, chocolate, bald, with a beard.
So,
and I know what y'all about to say.
Crazy work. How tall are you? Bald with a beard.
He ain't got the beard.
I'm 5'11".
Oh,
but
never
with
mind.
The white shoes, I could be like 6 foot.
Some Balenciaga.
YouTube was good, y'all. This is going to be a long one. They actually doing a reunion, and this shit is like almost 2 hours long. Listen, man, I'm gonna keep it a stack because I know how I watch other people's YouTube videos, and if you don't have, I don't blame you if you don't watch the whole video for 2 hours. I would love for you too because I need to get my watch hours up anyway, but I don't blame you if you leave. I don't blame you if you leave. So it's all due. It's all respect, man. It's all love, man. But I appreciate anybody who's rocking with me and enjoying my video. Again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let's watch this reunion and let's see if they learned something. Let's see where everybody's head at after they, popped the balloon on each other and met each other, whatever. Let's get it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel.
I don't mean to interrupt again, y'all, but shout out to them too. Let me just say that right now. Shout out to them too. There's a lot of streamers out there and YouTubers out there who've been doing their videos and reaction videos like I have. There's a lot of people who's watching it, and I have a high respect for them too. I don't know them personally, but I can see a genuine thing about them too. And shout out to them. They do the pop the balloons completely good, like very professional, very mature, and how the ladies say, very demure. I hate that shit. But good shit, man. Shout out to y'all.
Your host Arlette, and we are here with the season 3 reunion. As always, before we start, we're gonna have some lovely words from my husband, the producer of the show, BM.
Welcome to season 3 reunion. First of all, I want to thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Every time.
Yes.
He is the truth.
Yes.
I also want to thank everybody that comes on the show. I want to thank my amazing wife for being the best host that a producer could ever have. For being the best wife that a husband could ever want. So I definitely appreciate you. She's been absolutely fantastic. She has been the same. She has been consistent. She's been the same since episode 1. She's never changed, and she doesn't have to change. She's been absolutely amazing. Let's give her a round of applause to my wife. I also want to thank everybody that comes on the show, of course. Everybody that watches the show. Now, we are actually...
thank me, nigga.
Next month is our 1-year anniversary. So we actually started, the first episode of Pop the Balloon was the 7th of December last year. So obviously it's not even been a year yet, but during this whole year, we have had Pop the Balloon or Find Love. We've got the catch-ups. We also have Blind Date Love. We have the reunions. We have BM Talks to them. And now the new one, Best Dressed Today. It's amazing. We thank God for everything. He is amazing because producing this type of shows is very difficult. And the fact that we're able to keep on top of it, I want to thank my whole team for doing what they're doing. The professionalism that we put out is fantastic. I want to thank everyone that comes on the show. And I also want to thank everybody that watches the show. Because people that come on the show and the people that watch the show, you don't just watch and come on the show. You are part of the show. Like I see people in the comments like every Wednesday saying, "Oh, it's like I'm meeting my cousins here." It's like I'm meeting my cousins here every single week. So it's fantastic to see that we're building a community here. And God bless everybody that watches the show and everybody that comes on the show. And we hope great things for you all.
All right. Well, you guys heard the man. It's been a great season. So let's go ahead and get started with the season 3 reunion. Thank you, baby.
Staring in the camera.
Like I can see the bump in the back.
I know that I might be your type, probably, and I know that because of the way that you were looking at me. Like, you know, you could eat me up on this floor.
The taper on top and then like the dreads in the back is like business in the front, party in the back.
He looked like one of my cousin's best friend's baby daddy.
What's 9 plus 9 times 9?
with the math equation.
That's one of my things is the boots, but
It's the
Hello,
boots.
welcome in.
Yeah. They had to show that.
Don't be scared.
They had to show that. They filthy for that, by the way. They're filthy for that. Give a man some grace.
All right, so that was a wrap up of season 3. That was episodes 21 through 30. We made it through another 10 episodes. So just to go ahead and kind of kick off this reunion, there was one specific gentleman that was talked about quite a bit in episode 22. Let's go ahead and take a look to see who that was.
Provide something that like what you do for a man first, because that's easy to say. Any woman can come out here and say, yo, give me some gifts, and I can bust out the bank card and be like, wow. You know what I'm saying? But like,
That's true.
what makes you like
Valuable.
worthy to receive that other than you just being fine?
Right. Why would they want to invest in you?
If and when you become my man, you would know, and I would be your woman, and that's in every sense. So,
Like what?
Exactly.
Like, what the hell does that mean? Like,
What?
Okay, so
Ladies, let me say this, and I'm not going to keep pausing it because it's a long video, but why does a man, right, or anybody, this goes to men and women, but why does like a man has to find out when you're his girlfriend to see what he gets out of you? Like, why don't you, if you really want somebody in your life, let's say if you really like this guy and this guy really likes this woman, right, don't you think it's smart to go hard for each other? Because the harder you go, right, it shows them why they need to put you in their life. But why would a man want to wife you up if you don't show them what it is like that you'll be a wife for? Like, if you don't show him wifey qualities, why the fuck would I wife you? Like, that's common sense.
Danny, in that segment that we just saw, are you saying that, you know, a woman needs to do more than just be fine to deserve gifts?
Yes.
nah, I just wanted more from her.
Okay.
You know, just to, you know, elaborate on
That's what you meant, bro.
what you actually would do in a relationship, because when we don't have that much time to figure out
That's
this
what you meant.
investment is going to be worth on you. So I need you to speak to my heart just a little bit more about what it is. I don't know you
Right.
from a can of paint. So I need more, you know, just feed my heart a little bit more, and, you know, please. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, tell me what's happening so I can
Okay.
be like, I bet this is close as a for sure investment as I can receive at this point in time. Because I
Okay.
just didn't want to waste my time for after the show and we don't talk, or you know, she come out with some BS. So I just needed a little more. That's all.
Okay, I see. So guys, the fellas here on the panel, do you all agree with Danny? Like,
Of course.
Micah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's kind of superficial just to say like the whole gifts thing. It's like, to me, it's an exchange of value. You know, it's perfectly fine to shower your woman with everything she wants if there's an exchange of value, right?
Okay.
She's
Right.
bringing something to you, bring something to her. But like, if it's a situation where you're just like expected to do all this stuff and she's just kind of like not adding anything to you, it's like, what are you doing?
Okay.
Kind of goofy.
Okay. Anyone else want to add to that?
yeah, I'll add to that. In today's day and age where so many people are being used for things,
Exactly.
it's just good to see that somebody's willing to invest first. But also, men are natural providers, right? So you don't know what that man is willing to do once you show a little bit of investment. You
Look
ain't
at her
even got to
face.
do a lot.
Look at her face.
I would
She
just
don't agree with him.
challenge
She
women
don't agree with
to
him.
invest
Look at her
a
face.
little bit into a man and see what he does, because you don't know. He could go 10 extra miles and you went 1, or he can go 2. You know what I mean? But you kind of got to gauge that. But Men are natural providers, man. So once we see you giving a little, we gonna meet you where you at or exceed that.
Okay.
Well, yeah, if she had said something like, I'm gonna be consistent with you, I'm gonna be there for you when you need me, we gonna talk, we gonna grow together, I'm gonna see where you at, and I'm gonna be your partner. And you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, just really just digged in deep. It's not even about the finances. I think that's normal. I think everybody wants to be shown. Like I said, everybody wants to be reassured. But under that, you know, tell me that you understand, you know, what I'm looking for. That's all I was asking.
Okay, so then for the ladies, do you all think we got to do more than just to look cute to deserve some gifts from our mans?
I think we do too much. I think in a lot of circumstances, we tend to, which is why we shouldn't, show the wifey qualities before the reciprocation is given.
Okay.
So I think at the end of the day, I don't think she meant she just wants to be gifted and do absolutely nothing. You know, I think that she just meant that in her relationship, she likes the thoughtfulness of being thought of. You know, a lot of times.
Yeah, but what does he get? Like, you're not it. I'm about to get upset. I'm about to crash out.
Just not just about being materialistic or just being a gold digger. We want to know that when you're out, you're thinking of us and, hey, I picked this up for you. So a lot of times people confuse thoughtfulness for just being materialistic or, you know.
But that is materials.
I feel like where women and men bump heads a lot is we're both waiting to see which one's going to do more first. I feel like it's just a waiting game. I feel like we, as women, we want to be courted. So we wait to be courted. And as men do, they want to be, you know, they want to know the woman is more interested in them instead of what they can give you.
See, you can't answer that.
So it's just
you can't answer that. I'm cutting you off. You can't answer that because at the end of the day, the man has to do things to get you. We have to do the chase. We have to take you out, make you feel special, gift giving, all that stuff. But the man is saying, what do I get in return? Like, what type of wifey are you? That's what we want to know. Because if we sit here, we're doing all the investing, we're paying for the dates, we're paying for X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. So what do I get out of you in return? Not saying that I need something out of return, but what does come with you? What am I investing in? And y'all can't explain that shit.
about a waiting game. Like we're both waiting on each other to show something.
Okay.
Kind of piggybacking off of Tiffany, like it is a waiting game, but you know, literally just had this discussion, but
she's fine.
Men in this society, you know, want to be seen as leaders, but what leadership qualities are you showing us? Like you're supposed to be taking that step forward. Like I'm supposed to be following you. So if you're waiting for me to invest something in you and all this other things, then you can just wait for another woman because I'm looking for a man to lead me.
Okay.
So show me what you want me to show you. And then let's move, you know, that way.
All right. Nice to hear from
Can
both
somebody give
men
them
and the
push
women.
buck?
So
Push
to go
buck.
ahead
Push
and
back. Please give
move
a
on
push
to our
back.
next segment here. Let's
Oh
take a
my
look at
God.
the most viral moment of this season.
I don't know why you'd ask that. You look great, but
well, I'm asking because you know I don't mind because he was so wrong with the braids.
You want to take it off?
Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Nah, she bodied that.
You know,
She bodied that.
Why can't I?
And not a lot of women look good with bald heads, but she bodied
you still
that.
look good.
She look good.
So should I keep
You
it
look good.
off or okay?
Keep it off. You look good.
So Johiko, as you've seen, you're everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, every single place you could think of, your video has popped up at least, I don't even know, each time I'm scrolling, I'm seeing it. So how has it been for you since that moment? Walk us through like what actually was going through your mind during this moment as well.
Well, I mean, originally he mentioned me having braids. He mentioned me having braids and lumps under my head. And of course, a few times I was just, you know, I handled it humbly. I was like, braids? Okay, all right. Knowing I have no hair under my wig. But then I knew that there was the possibility of millions of people talking about what he said I could have had under my head. So, and I knew that I did not. So I just figured I was going to just show everybody what was really under there. I had no problem doing so. And it's the outpouring amount of love that I've received, you know, coming on this show, it's always the possibility of, you know, receiving some criticism. And positive and negative, but for the most part, it was all positive for me. And I really appreciate everyone, all the support. So yeah, it was a lot.
Okay, and now Danny, we saw you were kind of in the corner of that clip when she took the wig off. You disappeared. Where'd you go?
It was just a shock.
Okay.
You know, that's all it was. It was, more power to her. But I was in shock. It was funny, to me. I'm goofy.
Yeah, it was definitely unexpected. I was there like, you gonna take it off? Like, I was like, hold on now, what's going on here?
I said, don't do it.
I wasn't gonna let him take me out like that. So at the end of the day, I know that my hair is very well maintained. I knew that he was very incorrect. At the end of the day, I still have a good relationship with Hugh. I keep in touch with everybody from my episode. I always check up on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't offended because I knew that I didn't have what he said I had. So I know the world hates him, but yeah.
Right.
In the best way. You look fantastic without it. In the best way.
Yeah.
Like you could see more of your face. You look beautiful. You were glowing when you took that off. You were like, I'm everyone.
You should have just kept
Wait, Cliff, what'd you say?
I feel like she should have just kept the wig off.
Yeah. Oh, like she should have came out already, wig off.
Wig off.
To be honest, when I was backstage with the girls, the curls wasn't curling. It was just a lot going on with the wig. It was lifting. And I had mentioned like wanting to take it off backstage. But, the girls were trying to just like, girl, you look good. Just leave it alone. So that was another reason why I was just like, you know what? I did want to take it off, but everybody backstage was just like, girl, you look good. Leave it alone. I was going to braid it, put it to the side. They were like, leave the curls, just leave it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just leave it. Right. But when that happened, I was like, good. Because I didn't want it on in the first place. So once
you're like, I was looking for a reason to yank this off anyway.
Once he said that, I was like, period, that's it. Taking it off.
Definitely a sign from God, because you should have walked in with that wig off anyways. Because she looked good with it off.
Honestly, yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to another young lady who was talked about quite a bit from her episode. Let's take a look.
I'm not loud and rowdy, but I just feel like I might be a lot. I know I feel chill right now.
All right, name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
My name is Angelique. I'm 32.
Okay.
It was the lashes comment. Women are gonna women. You know, we're gonna do what we're gonna do. And I think for a man to make a comment about the things that we do, makeup, hair, lashes, like I get that it's not your preference, but let women be women.
Right.
Or don't date us. It was the age. I'm 32. You're 28. Is that what I remember? Correct. Yeah. And when you first said it, I thought about popping, but I was like, no, girl, don't block blessings. Just keep on listening. But it just kept popping up in my head. And I have to listen to my gut. Okay. She's never going to lead me astray. So it is the age. I hate it. I know. I'm sorry.
Okay. So Angelique, the comments ate you up and my facial expressions. So it was like a trend, and everybody started catching on like this girl keeps hanging on to her balloon until the last minute when it's you and down to like one other person. And there were comments like, oh, I feel like she's blocking other people's blessings. Somebody else could have been had their balloon still at the end. How do you feel about that?
She's gonna deny it.
I feel like
she's gonna deny it.
Watching it, I totally understand why people feel that way.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's not what I was doing. So everyone was incorrect. It's all about perspective. I'm gonna sit here and be real with y'all. And for everyone that's standing in the line,
she don't know how to answer that.
You sometimes can forget you're even standing there. And it's very possible to forget that you're even standing there. And that happened a couple of times for me. Like I zoned out. I was overthinking some of the things. Like it just happened. So me waiting until the last minute, it wasn't intentional. It was, I'm kind of thinking about what's going on here, what I should do. And then the other part is, dang, I'm standing here. What is happening up here?
What are you talking about?
Looking at me.
What are you talking
that
about?
Was it for me. Like it was never, oh, I'm gonna wait and be the last one. It was never that. I never thought of that. Okay. So when that came out, I was like, huh? What are we talking about, y'all?
So like, for example,
what are you talking about?
One of the first few things that people say when they come out is their age. But you did
Right.
it twice with the age. You
Right.
held on till the last minute, but that's one of the first things they
Thank
say.
you, all that checker.
So if that is
Checker.
something that's like a deal breaker for you in a way, like how come you didn't pop right away for those?
Exactly.
It's a deal breaker in a way.
Okay.
It's not like the end all be all. It's possible, but it's like, well, let me think about this. What do I feel? Because that's important to me. The energy, the feeling, like that's important to me.
Okay.
So that's what I was thinking the whole time. It was never, okay, they came out, they're 27, pop, pop, pop. It was never that for me.
Okay.
Because certain things you can or can't change, like your height, your age, where you are, and like certain things just can either be fixed and they just kind of don't matter. And some things
Can we go
do,
to
and
next?
just
Can we skip
everything
her?
collectively.
She's
What am I
retarded.
feeling? What am I thinking? Unfortunately.
Okay. And then another thing that was coming
Arlette
up
don't get it either.
when you popped on Jay, you said, something about, women are going to women. If you don't like it, don't date us. What did you mean by that? Can you elaborate?
I sure can.
Okay.
I mean, allow people to be whoever they're going to be. And that's men and women. Because a lot of people came out and was like, well, y'all pop because men are short. And no, Bookies. Like, I never said that because you can't change your height, right? But I can change my lash. I can change if I want to wear makeup or not. But my thing is, that's my thing. Let me just be me. I want to come out and wear my lash. Let me do that and you love me regardless.
Okay.
Or today I don't want to do that and I want to have a plain face and just wear my sunscreen. Let me do that and you love me regardless. Realize that it has nothing to do with my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Realize that it has everything to do with just who I want to be in this moment.
Okay.
But since we are talking about the lashes and that whole thing, I do want to make sure I give you an apology for that because like I said, I overthink quite a bit. And what I was thinking in my head is not the same as what actually came out my mouth. And so when I watched the show back and I realized that people are thinking that I'm trying to say you should go date men, that was not my intention at all.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is this lineup has been extremely consistent. There was one young lady on my episode or our episode who did not have on makeup, but other than that, this lineup has been extremely consistent. So it's like, if these aren't the type of women that you like to date, don't, because there are 1,000 different women out here. And that's really what I was trying to say. But I understand that it didn't come out that way. And you probably felt as if I was trying to attack you and your sexuality. And that was never the case.
I don't think he was.
And Jay, you
I didn't
actually
look at it
did.
that
You
way
made
either.
a post about it on Instagram. You said you
Oh,
felt
we
like
did.
it was an attack on your manhood, right? You said something along those lines. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been consistently attacked for my manhood on this show,
Men's always
but
been attacked for
I
their
think you
manhood.
popped prematurely
That's something
on
that
me
women
because
just do.
there's levels to it, right? Like her lashes was like those little caterpillars that was black that we ain't seen since we was like 15. But yours, like I could see through it. You couldn't see through hers. I could see through yours. And I actually complimented your lashes, right? So I like the individuals. I like the hybrids. I like those lashes. I don't like the little strips. But also when makeup is supposed to be natural, but it doesn't look natural.
Natural. Yeah.
That's something that I don't like. So if the makeup is supposed to look
I agree.
natural, right? Like lashes, they're supposed to look natural.
Yeah,
if
but
it's
y'all be
supposed to look
overdoing it.
unnatural, like I complimented
Big ass
you on
lashes.
your eyeshadow, right?
And I said, thank you.
I don't think niggas is running around with fuchsia eyelids and that's matching they fuchsia lips. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was looking good. I liked it. So I can appreciate the creative, inspiration
face.
behind that.
We
But we
look at her
all have
face.
seen those
She'll
posts
agree.
where it'll be a man with a full beard and he do his makeup and he looked like we can't even tell. So that's my thing, is like we want it to look natural and we just don't want to have to see your baby pictures. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But I like your lashes today.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
and I
that.
like them that day.
Thank you, and I appreciate that.
I didn't like hers though.
Stop it.
But that was my whole point. Was just like let her wear whatever
This
she
is
want to
crazy.
wear. It shouldn't be a comment about it.
I
That
get
was my point.
Okay,
get it.
let's take. Oh, go ahead, Joey. Go.
Yeah, because I know after going viral, there were a lot of people asking, why does she wear the wig anyway? Women need to be more confident, understand that we don't care about fake hair. And I agree with you.
It's not about them. It's about us.
It's about us. We don't get up in the morning like, oh my God, this is for the men. You know, we see certain looks that we want to achieve, that we desire, and because of our different types of hair textures and hair lengths, sometimes we can't achieve it. So we do it just for fashion. We do it for style. We do it for looks. We don't do it for you. We don't care. I mean, now don't get me wrong. I'd love to consider my person. You know, I do want to, how do you think about this? How do you, but we don't do it for you guys. So I did not wear the wig because I wasn't confident. She does not wear lashes because she's not confident. As women, it's about beauty. That's why y'all looking at us in the first place too. You know, we're beauty. We're beautiful people. So just wanted to agree with you on that.
Thank you.
You know how I look at it
Thank
now? I look at it as, you know how when your little daughter or your niece dress up in makeup and be like, hey, mommy, look how pretty I am. And she looks crazy, makeup down here, makeup over here, smeared lip gloss. And she thinks she looks so beautiful. I feel like that's how men look at us. Like, you do not need all that stuff. But we looking at us like, we look good, you know?
That was
Good
cute.
analogy.
Yeah.
It's an accessory. The
That's
same
a good
way we
analogy,
polish our
actually.
nails red.
I gotta give that
That's to me, it's an accessory. Now, some women probably do feel like they need it to cover certain things and flaws.
A lot
but
of
for some
people.
of us, it's an accessory. Just
A
like our
lot.
heels, just like our rings and our earrings. Our makeup is an accessory.
Yeah,
So,
honest, so the point you're saying, like where you said he shouldn't comment on it, I kind of disagree with that because it's like everybody should be able to comment on what they like or dislike, right? Like to say like, oh, let a woman just be a woman. It's like, well, you can do that, but if a guy is saying, hey, I don't like this, it's like he should be able to comment on something he doesn't like about her because women do it all the time, right? I don't like his height. I don't like this. I don't like that. You know, and it's accepted. But if a man has like a preference, that
Any
he
pushback.
states, then it's like,
He
don't
can't say
comment
it.
on women. It's like, you comment on men, right?
But that was my point. Like you just said about height and all that. Like that's my point. You cannot change the fact that you short or if you're tall, right? Me and my lashes, I can rip these off and put on a whole new pair or not. Or I can put on some mascara if I want to, or individuals. That's my point though. That has absolutely nothing to do with who I am as an individual. It's just, this is fun for me. This has nothing to do with my heart whatsoever. And so to judge.
What is she talking about? What is she talking? Get the mic from her hands, please. That's exactly, you're being superficial because if the guy is short and he can't change that, right? Then you should look at his heart too. That has nothing to do with his heart, who he is, because he's short, but he can't change that. But you could change wearing lashes or not, or fake ass lashes or overdone makeup that makes you not look real. You can change that, but you choose not to because you want to do what you want to do. And that's fine. That's your choice. But he could explain why he don't like it. That's his fucking choice. Oh my God.
Judge me on that, just like I shouldn't judge you for your height. Is the same thing because your height doesn't make you. Or your weight doesn't make you. Whatever you're wearing that day does not make you. And I think that's the thing. That's the issue I think I had with the comments and everything else is because I didn't pop for superficial reasons, but I got a lot of those superficial comments. And it's like, no, if you're here to find love for real, then you wouldn't be popping for that because those things do not matter, like the lashes.
Okay.
Or hats.
Danny, I see you shaking your head no.
That does matter.
No comment?
That does matter. Why is these guys not giving no pushback? What the fuck? Why don't somebody tell her she sound retarded? Like, it does matter. What the fuck is she talking about? Nobody want to fucking be around you, and he don't even know what you look like for real. And you wear all that bunch of shit on your face, and the next thing you know, you finally come over the crib, nigga beat. So he got a beautiful woman and all. You take all that makeup off, you looking like, oh, like Scary Movie.
Come on.
Mike.
He got pushback. He's just not trying to say it.
If you don't say it, I will.
Say it.
You have to be attracted to somebody to move forward to that level. Like, granted, you can't be superficial, but like if that's just not your preference, and not saying anything about what you said. Like I agree with what you said. But if we're being realistic, like that's your preference. Like I love me a black man. Like I love black men. So just because there is a guy out there of another race that's attractive, that doesn't make him less attractive because I don't want to pursue him or I don't think he's a great person. He can be the nicest, most generous person out there. But if you don't have those attributes that I'm looking for, I'm not actively pursuing you or trying to even see what love is like with you. Not saying that
That's
there
not your
would be some
preference.
random, once in a million, lifetime instance where we might click, we might connect, but that's all left up to chance. So I think
I'm not about to see with no woman that don't know what a good wig or bad wig is, what love is like with her.
All right.
We ain't come all natural. You come out there to put your best foot forward.
Literally.
And if your best foot forward is your lashes hanging off the side, I didn't even watch the episode, but if it look whack, then that's what you come out the house looking like. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Pop.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at another moment of Angelique's.
Damn.
Yep, girl. All right, so where do we pop?
Honestly, I think, okay, you know what? I'm gonna just say it. Okay. I know that I might be your type, probably. And I know that because of the way that you were looking at me.
Right.
Like, you could eat me up on this floor. And,
Right.
I think when I'm initially meeting someone, especially when there's
that's
1,000 different beautiful women standing here,
Right.
it's uncomfortable to
Right.
constantly be looked at like they
Right.
want to eat you up
Right.
in that moment. Like,
How is it-
granted, love it. Yes. Let my
Right.
man look at me like that. But right here, right now, it is so uncomfortable.
Right.
What are you?
Right.
I
I can't stand her.
And I think I
can't
get
stand
that. I
you.
get that all the time at work. And I just be like, all right, bro. Like, I'm just trying to be here.
So you don't think that it's like
I think
the
it
male
just-
like that's really feeling you? You don't think that's
No,
like,
I feel that. That's why I said I know for a fact that I'm your type. It's just, it makes me so uncomfortable right now.
right?
And that's why I was
Because
kind
you're
of
not
like waiting. I'm like,
attracted to
damn, I can chill.
my
Right.
Is he your type?
Good question.
My friends are going to say I don't really have a type. So
I fucking hate her. I can't stand. I hope you watch this. I can't stand you.
Let's start with Tamarcus. What was going through your mind during that? Were you as confused as I was?
I was super confused.
Okay.
Because like I don't know. I always thought that like, well, first off, when I first went onto the show, right?
Yeah.
I come out. I look from the right to the left. There was only 2 women that I was attracted to
Okay.
physically. So as I went down the line, I didn't want to pay no mind to the other. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care who was up.
Yeah, you
who
have
was in
tunnel
line
vision.
Right.
besides
Yeah, you
the
have
2.
tunnel vision.
Okay.
Just like I would.
And so when I got to her, it was kind of like one of those like, okay, so you don't think that or you don't want the man to show that he's
interested
feeling
in
you
you?
or that we're on a dating show. Like
Exactly.
I just I didn't get it.
Because she don't like you like
Angelique?
that. That's
I
why.
mean, okay. I knew I was gonna get toe up for that. Okay. And as you can see, I was fighting for the words to say. But in real life, y'all don't see him looking at me the way that I see him looking at me. And I was genuinely
camera's right
uncomfortable. So
there.
I'm gonna stand on that. I was genuinely
We
uncomfortable.
saw.
If I would have saw him on the street and he did the same thing, I would have been like, all right, y'all good? Y'all straight? We good?
But
Because
the
I
street
was
and the dating
uncomfortable.
show is 2 different
Right.
scenarios.
Sure,
Thank
I
you.
agree.
Thank
However,
you.
that don't mean I still would.
Shout out to the stripper.
I was
Shout
still
out to the
uncomfortable.
stripper.
Were you not
Keep
attracted
looking.
to him? Is that it? Like, were you not attracted?
That's what I was getting
Thank
at. Like,
you.
And the reason
That's
I'm
what it
asking is
is.
because, like, a lot of times with women, it's like the things that are creepy versus not has
It's
only
when
to do
he's
with
not
attraction.
attracted.
It's
Exactly.
like if a guy, how
Just
is that?
say
If
that.
he's attractive, it's like, oh,
Right.
well, he's forward.
That's what
Exactly.
I'm
But
about
if
to
he's
was
ugly, it's
fine,
like, oh, he's creepy.
You would have been
If
looking
she
back.
was-
And
Right.
Angelique, that's why I had asked you, is he your type?
A
But
type.
you really didn't answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Still not answering.
You gotta say the
Said she ain't. I feel that. Right? I feel what you're saying because you're right. I feel you on
the
that.
question.
We got our answer.
So what's the question?
Thank you.
It wasn't.
We got our
I'm gonna be
answer.
real. It wasn't if I was like unattracted to him or not. But I don't know. I really have no idea how to answer that because it's not that I think he's unattractive.
What are you? I have a question.
It's
Okay,
I have
let's
a
hear from
question.
TJ.
I have
Go
a
ahead.
question. What are you attracted to?
it's like physically, right?
Yeah, physically.
And see, when I say this, because I said this on live and I know what y'all about to say, but like if I had to like pull a guy out of a catalog, he's gonna be 6 feet and up, chocolate, bald, with a beard.
So,
and I know what y'all about to say.
Crazy work. How tall
He
are
might
you
not
all
got
with
the
a
beard.
beard?
He ain't got the beard.
I'm 5'11".
Oh,
But
never
with the
mind.
white shoes, I could be like 6
Don't.
foot.
He has some Balenciaga. He missing the
Okay.
beard, but he got everything.
I'm sorry, sis. I ain't with you on
I
this
know what
one.
y'all about to
Yeah.
say.
I can't even
but
support
like,
you.
That's Morris Chestnut right there.
You
Nice,
don't have
bright
a beard. There's no beard there though.
It's not. Thank you.
It's not full.
He still got
Take the mic from
Got a
her.
little bit
got
though.
something. Thank you. Somebody got something.
Okay.
But
all
You're
right.
not
Spin.
attracted
So
to
just to
him.
kind of open up to everyone else, what did you guys think like when you watched this episode
Not
of
too much.
Angelique?
So
Chill out, y'all.
for me personally, like I feel like just watching, you was like iffy. Like you looked at him, and I think in your mind you knew you didn't like him, but you didn't want to let him down.
Down like that.
Hard.
That's what it was.
Because homie is bald, homie is dark skinned, homie got a beard. What's up?
And he 1 inch from 6 feet.
And he like you. And he like you.
Say.
Man, he really
And he
like
want
you.
it.
Like he
What
was-
does him
he was-
liking me got to do with?
Well, that's what the show is about.
You said you
It's the show's
but you
about.
described
Conversation
him.
earlier.
You described him.
If Idris Elba was looking at you like that, how would you feel?
Girl, you would have been looking right
Idris
back.
was boss.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
It's like we want to pull out popular people like Idris.
Wait, hold on. I want to ask you a question. What is a beard to you? Because there's different types of beards, and you said you want a man with a beard, and they're coming at you saying he has a beard. What's
Let
a
me-
beard to you?
It's a beard.
He's trying to save
That's
her.
a
He's trying to
beard.
save
You know
her.
what I'm saying?
She don't want
We
no
just let her off the hook. We just let her off the hook.
That's, yeah, you can run
No,
like
you
that.
did it. No,
I
you
like
did it.
that.
All right, guys.
We did
Let's
it.
go ahead and wrap.
She's not off the hook. She's not off the hook. She's not off the hook. I'm pausing that. Listen, the whole comment section is about to eat her ass up. Oh my God.
About this segment. So obviously we heard from TJ. What about the rest of you guys? Like, what did you guys think of Angelique on the show when you watched
I'm
it?
a
Not
team
eat
girl
me
all the
up.
time, but girl, she was tripping.
Oh,
Damn.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you. I like her
crazy.
for keeping it real.
All right,
It's
so
not crazy, it's
go
the
ahead
truth.
and segue on to our next segment. This single man walked out, and pretty much every single
standing on
woman on the
business.
panel popped their balloon. Let's see who the unlucky fellow was. Hello, welcome in. Come on in, don't be scared.
I popped my balloon because of basically the height. I think you're very handsome, and I love that you're giving back to your
Come on
community
in. Don't be
with
scared.
working with the kids. But yeah, it was just the height.
It was the attraction for me, and then also the height. I'm pretty tall, so I want somebody that I can look up to.
All right, so TJ, a couple of the pops on you were due to height. First of all, how tall are you? Let's start with that.
All right. I'm 6'1".
You're 6'1".
I'm 6'1",
Okay.
and it was shown because that lady said she was 5'11".
She was 5'11". Yeah, she
And
was taller.
5'2" with heels on, and I
Okay.
was like right there. So I'm 6'1".
Okay, you're 6'1". Okay, so was that shocking for you to hear? Like when they're like, "Oh, it's your height, it's your height."
Yeah. So for me, I feel like it wasn't so shocking because I hear height on TV or on shows, but in real life, I'm 6'1". So like I don't see women taller than me.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So like me personally, going on a show, I didn't really see any women that were taller than me. Like she was an inch maybe taller than me, but the rest of the women was shorter than me. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Ish, you were one of the women that ended up hopping on TJ and saying like, it was the height thing. First, let's start off. How tall are you, Ish?
I'm 5'6.5" without heels.
You're
everything,
short.
Standing flat foot.
Okay. So on, what's the usual height of a man that you date?
Because of how tall I am, and I'm
You're not
like
that
the type of woman that
tall.
likes to dress up. So when I have on heels, I'm probably 5'9" or taller. Now let me clear things up, okay? So if you seen that clip we just watched, we were almost eye to eye. There is no denying that clip of how. Just go back to the
Take her
clip.
mic
If you
through.
put up on the screen. Now I'm not saying that we are eye to eye because we just stood next to each other, TJ, and we already know what your height is now. But looking at you from that angle, it looked like I was looking at you dead in your eyes. I
That
couldn't
angle.
see like how tall we actually were. So the relationship that I was in prior, I was like this. I was like this to you. So that was that issue there. But I didn't pop just because of that. I popped because The guy before you, the first guy, he came on there and straight lied about his height. He couldn't be no more than 5'9", 5'10". He said he was 6 feet, and that just blew me. So I thought you were doing the him. So that was that. And then it was your pants for real.
Damn, what's wrong with his pants?
All right.
They were just a little tight.
I got a couple comments.
Okay, go for it.
So now seeing me, how tall am I?
6'1". We
Okay.
6 feet to 6'1".
So at that moment when you saw me, you judged me on a prior mistake of another man.
Mm-mm. No. I judge you off of what I seen. Like I said, I seen you eye to eye.
But you said a dude.
You just said that you.
We all agree that you did that.
Change height or something?
I said because of that instance, I felt like that was you being dishonest about your height as well.
Because of another dude lying.
No.
exactly.
You said that you were 6'2",
just
and
said
I
that.
did not see you as 6'2". So it wasn't just based off of what he did. It was 6'1". He said he was 6'2".
It sucks. This girl's so pretty, but she can't take no bit of accountability for what she just said, and everybody's telling you just said that. God damn, just say, damn, you're right. What? Listen, world. I pray to God this goes viral because this need to be said. What is so hard or so wrong to admit that maybe you made a mistake? Maybe you're right. Just to say, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I was wrong. What's so fucking hard about saying that? I don't understand why everybody has to be right.
2 on the show though.
I said 6'2", but what you just said, like previously, was
saying,
was that you popped because another dude lied and you
No. I did not say I popped because another dude lied. I said I popped because your pants were too tight. I said that I popped because I thought you were being dishonest about your height, and I also said I popped because you were not.
I'll move on.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Get it.
Honestly, I feel like all the women on my show, like when y'all are all nice people, y'all all nice women. But I feel like when TJ came out, I feel like I set the precedence for everything to happen because I popped first and everybody immediately popped right after me. So I feel like I set the tone and I feel like it was just unfair because I did end up getting my balloon back.
Right.
So
I'll say something about that. I did not pop because you popped, baby.
Yeah,
I popped because he looked like.
That's how I feel.
I know, but I'm
It's not the
saying
truth though.
he looked like a lot of family members. I'm Haitian, and he looks very much Haitian. And people were like, "Oh, why would you pop?" Because he looks like a family member. I don't want to wake up next to somebody that looks like my mom's friend or my cousin.
Wait, I'm Haitian.
Wait, so Kamina, you don't date Haitians?
He said, do you like black men?
No. To be honest, let me be real. I actually
offend
don't.
me because I'm Haitian, girl. What are we doing?
No.
What's going on?
No. It's one thing is he looks like a relative. Like he looks, I can't explain it. Like
So he look like a Zoe. He look like a Zoe Poppy.
Well, you said
no, because there's some fine Zoes. Let me. There's
but
some fine
a Zoe Poppy
Zoes.
is like the Haitians that
You
look
said
like
that for like 5
Zoe
people
Poppy.
though.
Okay, I would
I'm not
say
a
names.
Zoe
There's a
pal,
guy
though.
named Jonas that my mom is really best friends with. He just looks like Jonas. That's all. I just didn't, I don't want to wake up to something that just looks like, I just didn't know how to say it, but
I
that's
got a
really
question,
what it is.
though.
That's why I popped.
Okay.
Didn't you say
I
you
got-
have 5, like couple people that look like your family members? Other than
Yeah,
him?
because Cliff was a family member too, and he looked way different.
No. He's not a family member. Like Cliff for him, he looked like my cousin's best friend's baby daddy.
Okay.
That's
Let's go back to the topic at hand. I think Danny had a question over here. Let's hear from Danny. Let's hear from Danny.
She said earlier, like, I just want to know, what does height have to do with leadership?
Man, like what?
Yeah, I mean, a man could lead you, in the right direction, and whether you're looking at them at the same height or whatnot, I thought that when you're looking into a relationship, you're looking to see, a future with this person, compatibility. Yeah, exactly.
But you still want to be
I disagree, bro.
attracted to that
You still want to
person.
be attracted,
And that
to
goes off of what we were talking
you gotta
about
be
before. Like,
attracted.
if you're just not attracted to
Understand what
somebody,
you're trying to say, but you
then
gotta be
you're
attracted.
not like gonna pursue that person
Right.
regardless. So it like they could be a great leader, like I just said with the other race thing. They can be the best person, in Asian form or a different race, but that's not my preference. And in particular, just like you said, pointing to the fact that you said first impression is everything.
Right.
If you come out with tight pants. And that's my first impression of you.
Right.
I'm thinking you just walking around, with
gotta
tight
defend
nighties
yourself.
and TJ, don't take it like that. I'm
Hold
just
on.
saying,
Okay.
like,
Last comment.
that's my impression.
Look.
Of you.
Oh, let's hear from
Talking
Tara.
about
We haven't heard from
impressions,
Tara.
That's what it is.
Let's hear from Tara.
My fault.
Okay, so I didn't pop because Tiffany popped. It was the first guy. He came out. I was trying to give him a chance, And then after that, I realized if I'm just not feeling someone at first, I should just go ahead and just pop initially, right? So when I think TJ was the second guy. So that's why I popped for him. And I didn't want to take that chance away from anybody else with me holding on to my balloon till like the last round. But I do think I should have at least given him the opportunity to come out, you know, say his name, where he was from, what he do for a living. Like I do wanted to publicly apologize to you. The next day we had went to the museum and we talked about that. And I told you, like, you know, I don't think that was right. I think everybody should come out and at least have the opportunity to like say your name or something. I don't know.
But I'm going to defend the ladies on this one. I don't think they popped because Tiffany popped. Like, girls, don't get ahead of yourself. I think they actually popped because they wasn't attracted to the nigga. Like, and the way the nigga was dressed. Yeah, they could have given him a chance still just to hear him out to see what he's really about. Because I know they was feeling him a little bit better after they already popped, right? Then they said, damn, this nigga got it together. But at the same time, too, they pop you because of what they saw. You can't blame them, because if I see a chick come out here looking raggedy, dressed weird, and this, that, and third, I'm going to pop on her, too. They wasn't attracted to him. Plain and simple. So I'm going to defend the ladies on that one.
And I agree. Okay,
with
last
Tara.
comment from Jay, and then we'll go ahead and move on from there.
I just got to point out the hypocrisy, right? Because when y'all got this going on, it's that's a preference. But when y'all talking about me, it's like,
come on,
yeah, come on, lay it out.
We do this
you have
for
preferences.
us. We do this for women, right? But how come it's not that same sentiment when y'all talking about us? So just digest it. I don't even want y'all to answer that. Really think about that, because we get hit with this all the time, and we gotta eat that shit. And y'all always hit us with this hype, all this stuff. We don't never get to say our preferences, and that's just it. But y'all always got some kind of hypocrisy and comeback for y'all preferences, but ours are always wrong. And I'm really getting tired of the double standards, man, because in real life it really don't be like that. But on this show, y'all really be playing like that. It's not.
And the thing that sucks is that women really want men with standards, right? And every time a man say, I got these preferences, I like my woman like that, then they start degrading us. Oh, we must be gay. We must be this. Oh, we don't like women. Like, what the fuck? Because I don't like a certain type of woman, so I don't like. Bro, the hypocrisy is crazy. The double standards is insane.
Not cool.
Okay. All right. So kind of to stay on the topic of TJ for a bit, after all those pops, you did eventually end up leaving with a match, which was Tiffany. And one of the main topics that came up with this match was her profession. So let's take a look at
let's talk
this
about
quick
it.
clip.
This is going to be a good one.
Word. Okay. Okay. Do you like to dance?
Yes, I love to dance. I'm a dancer. I'm an exotic
I've dated
dancer.
a lot of dancers.
Really?
I've dated a lot of dancers. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have no problem with that.
I think I'm good with a young lady.
I think that went over his head.
Tiffany, come on up.
I think that went over his head.
For my part, my only person that asked me in my family about it, I think one of my cousins or somebody was like, "Hey, did you know she was a exotic dancer?" And I was like, "I didn't know, actually." And
Exactly. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. Excuse my language, but I fucking knew it. I said it. I said the way she threw it out. She says, "Do you like to dance?" She says, "Yes, I'm actually a dancer. I love to dance. I'm an exotic dancer." She just threw that out there real slick, very low tone. And he was already hyped and feeling himself. He wasn't really sink in, and she just said, "I'm an exotic dancer." And I'm a stripper. If you say stripper, if you say I'm a stripper, I'm telling you, the whole DJ would have. I'm telling you.
We talked at the same time when she said it.
Yeah,
when
I
she
figured.
said dancer,
yes,
I dated a lot of dancers, but then when she said exotic dancer, I was like talking.
Different.
If I would have heard that, I'm not gonna lie, maybe I would have popped. Maybe.
He thought she was a ballet dancer.
Hey. All right, so let's start with Tiffany. So Tiffany, as we saw, he said maybe if he would have heard it, he would have popped. So how does your profession affect your dating life?
There's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to exotic dancers. I use the term exotic dancer because I work in gentlemen's clubs. A lot of people don't know the difference between gentlemen's clubs and strip clubs. Strip clubs, you're fully nude. You're on your feet all the time. Gentlemen's clubs is mostly just topless, and you're talking to men a lot. You're not really dancing.
That's bad.
It's just the nuances.
Is she smoking crack? Is she smoking crack? It's the same. That's the same category for. That's the same category, but you're just not showing enough body, but you're still entertaining other men. What? I quit. I'm done. I give up on this world, y'all. I give up. I give up. I give up. I give up. Nah, I don't quit. I'm back, baby.
It's a lot of nuances to it. So I feel like people that I've tried to date in the past, they always have preconceived notions about me. And you're not really going to know who I am unless you give me a chance, you know? Yeah.
Okay. So how would you say it's affected your past relationships, or even if you bring it up to someone you're just
I mean, I was in a long-term relationship. It was just I didn't get married, so I left. Like, you know, I don't, you know, I'm not
Because you
getting
was
any younger.
exotic
Right.
dancer.
Older.
You was stripper.
So it's just like,
That's
you
why
know,
you
if
didn't
you're
like
not
me.
getting something out of your situation, you should move on.
Okay. All right. So TJ, you said it would have been a maybe pop. Why would it have been a maybe pop?
Because when I first heard her say dancer, I've dated burlesque dancing. I've dated people who done African dancing, Latin dancing, but we talked at the same time. So my stigma towards stripping was stripping. And then I didn't understand that that's what she was doing. And so that's why I said maybe. But then, like I said, I got to know her and I said, she's a very nice human being, you know, and that
I believe
goes
that.
further
I
than
think she's a genuine person.
my stripper mindset. It goes more into like, who are you as a person? So I think she's a great person. So whether
I think she's a great person too.
it's a lasting romantic relationship, I think me and Tiffany will be friends forever.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Well, let me put this short. What he was trying to say, right? I think she's a great person. She's sweet. He's catering to her feelings, right? But we'll be great friends forever. That means that, yo, listen, he would never wife you because why? Because you strip. The fuck, man? This is like 1 + 1 = 2.
From anyone on the floor? Oh, what's Cap?
Hold on. Let me pause real quick. Before we get into that. Let me just say this, right? And this is not to degrade exotic dancers and strippers, right? OnlyFans models, prostitutes, and sex workers. You're not included to what I'm about to say because that's a whole different type of field. But strippers, right? Yeah, they don't just because they strip doesn't mean they having sex with a man. But y'all gotta understand one thing, right? Is that as a man to be in a relationship with a stripper. So I'm not telling all men you cannot date a stripper. You could date a stripper, but if she's willing to stop what she's doing to be in a relationship with you, then try it. But if she's not willing to stop doing what she's doing, how could you be in a relationship with somebody who's entertaining other men, that's doing a light form of prostitution with other men? I can't imagine me. I'm laying in bed, right? It's 12 a.m. I got to work because I work a blue collar job. I got to work and wake up at 7 a.m. just to get to work so I could grind. And my wife is out there fucking talking to guys, dancing on them, rubbing on them for money. Like, what? No.
Someone said Cap?
Danny did. I heard something too.
What's Cap? What's
Stand
Cap?
on business. Stand on
What do you
business.
mean by that?
dancer?
When she say dancer, I don't know. Maybe it's an Atlanta thing. Somebody say dancer. That's the first thing.
That's universal.
No, it's all the same.
Yeah, but I hear dancer.
Honestly, you're from Atlanta, so when you hear dancer, I know this girl. She worked in the club.
Yeah.
So that's probably what he's saying. Like when you heard dancer, you're thinking of something else. But he heard dancer
That's
since
true.
he's from like
That's true.
stripper culture, where he's from. That's the first thing that comes to his mind.
Yeah, and I don't gotta prove nothing. The women I dated will tell y'all they weren't strippers. They was dancers.
Okay.
So it is what it is.
And let this be known, this is not
Oh, he was
the
calling
only
Cap
thing
for
I
him.
do. I have a podcast. I have multiple businesses.
Doesn't
This is a
matter.
stepping
Doesn't
stone.
matter.
I believe in investing
Doesn't
in
matter.
myself. So if no one is going to invest in me, I'm going to invest in myself.
And once again,
That's how I get my money to invest in myself.
And I told,
I'm not backing that up. Doesn't matter.
You shouldn't come at strippers just because they strip, man. Like she don't want to do that the rest of her life. You can't do that the rest of your life. So like her as a person, you probably should get to know beyond that. And so I was able to get to know that basically because I didn't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So my stigma beyond that got expanded, and I thank her for it. Now, like I said, whether it works romantically or not, it still was a judgment that I shouldn't have made because my balloons got popped with people not knowing me.
And it's crazy because
Okay.
the way that
give
we
you that
met,
one.
I prejudged you and you didn't get the opportunity to prejudge me because you didn't hear that. And I should have been more delicate with the situation, knowing how much I get
Agreed.
prejudged. So
Agreed.
yeah, that's why I got my balloon back.
All right, Tiff. Okay, so in this next segment, it's the ladies of episode 23. So as we all know, the internet, they criticize you guys, said all types of things. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of the segments.
And
Wait a minute. Sorry to pause it, but didn't this group of women say that they they got up to like this when they talked about the whole, they was all together talking about how the experience was? Didn't they say they would never do this again, but they back here again?
I feel like I'm on like a TED talk when I'm like listening to you,
and the teeth just were not for me. Not for me.
And you said classy. I feel like I'm classy, but when it comes to being Haitian doll, I'm more of a hype girl. I like to get people out dancing, and my lyrics are a bit like, so yeah.
Okay, so Jason, we'll go ahead and start with you. So they came for your teeth, the way you talk, like, how are you feeling going down that line and hearing all those things about yourself?
I mean, things I've never really heard that much before.
Okay.
But not really shocked by it because it's snap, thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Also too, like even some of my friends and family, like, bro, like the way that you seemed on there is not how you really are. Cause like everybody who knows me know I'm like the latest person you meet. I'm always like, hype or whatever. But it's very different because when you're on there, you're trying to hear and articulate all that kind of stuff first time as well. So like even when Tara was talking, to her defense, it was like I was very just kind of drawn in, trying to listen and understand and stuff like that. The teeth thing, never heard that before, but I get it. People got their preferences.
Preference.
No, they're just coming up with excuses.
I didn't think anything of it. I'm not
coming up with excuses
like,
to pop.
oh my gosh, my feelings kind of thing. I'm like,
Okay.
oh, that's crazy. But yeah.
Okay, and then so Tara, you said he sounded like a TED Talk or something like that.
Yeah, it just seemed like how he was. It was very business. That's how it sounded.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just big on energy, so I was wanting to see more of like his personality, and so that's what I was presented with. So that's how I just assumed he was. And for me personally, I need someone like a bit more, like not kind of
Entertaining,
goofy and
fun.
like fun, and not someone that's just
I can
so
understand
like
that.
business
I can
all the
understand
time because I have to be business all the time at work. So when I come home,
You don't
I
wanna
want to
be that
have
way.
fun. Like I want to,
Yeah.
And
Joke
then
with your man.
after he sat down and he was completely opposite, and I was like, dude, what was going on? And they were like, what, Jason? Like boring? No, that's not him. And I just wish I could have seen that. So maybe we could have possibly matched or something. But that didn't happen.
You can
still
still
a great
can.
guy.
Okay,
But-
so if he would have
still
showed more
can.
of like his goofy personality, is he someone that's your type, like physically?
She do physically. That's foul. Arlette,
No,
that's
on the
foul.
show, I did say he was like physically, like he would have been someone I would have been interested in knowing just off of initial attraction.
Okay.
But then there's that extra energy part, where I would have liked that as well for me to be able to match with him.
Okay. So now, Ish, you had mentioned his teeth. Are like teeth something like you like focus on pretty heavy? Is it something that's like deal breaker or not for you?
When we're talking about this setting, yes.
Okay.
Simply because, that's like the first thing for me that I look at someone's smile,
Yeah.
because I'm a really cheeky person and I like a guy that makes me laugh, and I don't want to be drawn to that area in the wrong way. I'm choosing my words carefully because y'all tried to eat me alive. But I'm being honest. It was just the attraction thing for me, and teeth are a big thing, and it just was not my vibe. That's
Okay.
all I'm saying.
All right.
Well,
Well,
that's
let's
story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. Well, then let's take a look at another clip from episode 23.
You said like the man should take more of like the bills and stuff. If you would have been like both incomes and like we build together and like that kind of thing, then rather just saying like, yeah, the man should take care of majority of the bills.
Okay, so can you go into detail a little more as to what you meant at this part? Because we were all just a little bit confused.
She's a 50-50 girl.
It made sense in my head. I didn't articulate it well. Obviously, people came from my neck. I'm very much not dumb. It just didn't come out right, y'all. I really don't even like the 50-50 question in general. I feel like that's big on how y'all are aligned mindset wise. I don't feel like either way is a problem as long as both parties agree. For me personally, I would just rather build with someone. And I put a lot into my career so far. So I would like to help out. Like, I know, especially in this economy, all bills and stuff on one person is a lot, whether you're a man or a woman.
Facts.
So if I'm thinking logically, he's gonna have to take care of me, him, and like I want 3 kids. So that's what, 5 cars, that's a house, a mortgage, that's college, that's like, I'm just being real.
And then you leave it all on the man. She thinks that's
I got a car, 3 kids,
and all the kids, yeah.
Oh, they gotta get a car when they turn 16.
like I have a lifestyle that I want to live. And so if I have to help out to like make both of our lives easier, I feel like there shouldn't be a problem with that. And the women came to my neck a lot.
That's a dub.
Okay. See, now that you had some time to be able to explain it, it makes sense now.
Like, oh, so you don't like, why you don't want your man to provide? I didn't say I didn't want him to provide. I said I want us to build together. And I feel like in this time, a lot of people just put a lot on like man should just be a provider, and they don't really have to do anything else like other than money. And for me personally, I make my own money, so you're gonna have to bring a little something more than just money for me.
Okay.
Personally, and there was nothing wrong with what Cliff said. We just had like, we kind of were saying the same thing. I think the intention behind them were kind of different. I just feel like he was more traditional in a sense, and I'm more, I wouldn't say a modern woman, but more of like a hybrid. So I just, there's nothing like, no side is wrong. I just feel like it's a matter of preference.
Yeah, so I agree with you on that point. Well, first and foremost, I think everybody should do whatever they think and they like. So if you're a 50-50 person, if you're a 100% person, if you're a none person, hey, there's people out there for everybody, you know. But you know, my philosophy is kind of what you were articulating earlier, where it's like, I don't think it should be 50-50. I think it should be, you know, sometimes somebody's 30%. And
can I give y'all my truth? And I didn't mean to pause it midway when he's talking, but yo, one thing I do think there's kind of, I hate using this word, sassy, you know what I mean? Because, you know, women use that shit all the time. But I never understood, you a big black ass nigga, bro. You a big black man. Why the hell do you have a little ass dog? Like, if I'm gonna get a dog, I'm gonna get a pit bull, something big. Like, I'm not gonna have that little choo-choo out and I'm holding them. Like, that's what white people do. Like, yo, get the fuck out of here. That's kind of sus, bro. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. That's just how I think about it. When I see a man with a little ass dog carrying him everywhere he goes, that's what women do, bro. Like I'm walking my dog. I'm like, oh, baby, get out of here. And he brought him on a show. That too. I'm not to call another man out his manhood, but I think that's kind of sussy.
The woman needs to do 70%, you know, and sometimes the woman's feeling 20% and the guy should be 80%. I think
partnership, yeah.
It should be an equal partnership, right? Because in this life, right, it takes 2 to tango. And if people are so obsessed over 50-50, who brings what to the table, like at the end, it's BS. Like, can you grow with your partner? Can you guys, you know, balance each other out?
Right. Y'all have to be aligned. It doesn't matter what you believe. As long as you find someone that can counteract that and is aligned with you, that's all that matters.
Right.
Yeah.
I totally.
So Cliff, in that moment when she had popped her balloon, did you understand why?
I was a little confused about it, but I mean, now that she explained it, everything, I mean, I feel a little bit, you know, I understand a little bit more what she was talking about. So, I mean, I get it now.
Okay.
But I mean, in that sense, I feel like the whole 50-50 thing, you know, it could be, you know, different views on it. So I mean, I feel like a woman, what she brings to the table is great as well. So I wasn't knocking that. Like, I would love for a woman to, you know, work and do everything too, but I'm just that type of person that I'm going to do stuff as well too, just because where I came from and the background that I live. So I would like to motivate my woman as well to do, you know, whatever job, whatever career path she want to do, or whatever she want to do in the house or outside of the house. So that was just me. Just far as like the whole 50-50 thing, like I bring a lot to the table too, and I wouldn't mind a woman bringing it as well, you know, match my hustle as well. So,
all right. So this next clip.
Let me say this though, real quick. Again, I hope this goes viral. But why, if you really love a man, right? If you really love a man, why would you want to see him go broke or struggle just to say that he provides 100% and brings everything to the table? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would you want to see that? Like, if you really love me, right, and I'm making decent money, enough to pay the bills, rent, and stuff like that, but I don't even have no money to myself because I'm giving it everything to this family because you don't want to work. Why would you want to see me struggle? Like, why? Like, I never understood that. Like, work, what she said was 100% true. Like, work whatever's works for you and your relationship. Like, my opinion of this is, if I ever get a wife in the future, whenever I get married and have a wife, if I'm making really, really good money that my wife don't have to work, that she don't have to work, I don't mind providing 100% of the bills. It doesn't bother me for me getting up and working to make a better life for my family. It doesn't bother me, right? But I don't want no woman to be with me and she see I'm only making such and such a money for the bill. I ain't even got no money to buy no clothes because I spent it all trying to take care of you, and you got all that money. You doing whatever the fuck you want to do with your money, and you don't want to help out or help me out with something like that. To me, that's wicked. That's just wicked. That's wicked. Especially in this economy. So if you really love, if a woman really loves me, she don't want to see me struggle.
It includes you again, Cliff, but this time with Ish. Let's take a look.
Where are you currently? Like, where do you live?
I'm currently in Las Vegas.
Oh, the distance lady.
Okay. So long distance is a no for you. Where are you?
I'm in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, Detroit. Okay.
Okay, so Ish, we talked a bit about this on BM Talks to Them.
And I will reiterate it.
Yes, ma'am. So when you had applied onto the show, did you like not realize that it was like a long distance thing and people come from all over the U.S. to come
Please
on
tell
the
me you
show?
didn't, because you knew.
I was aware of that.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll say it, like I said on the show before, it was never something that I was completely just like disregarding. However, the distance was a bit too far. I live all the way in the Midwest. He lives all the way on the West Coast. If it was somebody that had been closer to me, Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, like somewhere in my proximity, because those are still parts of the United States. Am I right? Or am I? All right. So it was the proximity.
No,
like
you're
I
not
can
right.
take a 4-hour drive to Ohio. You know, I can take a 30-minute flight to India, like depending on where you are. It was the distance with which he was. Like Las Vegas, Nevada is just it was too far for me. I wasn't willing to do something that long distance.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
you
like,
know.
and that's all it was.
Coming on the show, you're going to get a mixture of individuals from all over your state. So what I can say is like, hey, you may be banking on somebody that's closer, right? Like you said, Ohio or.
Yeah, but if you're going on a dating show that you're only going to probably get to maybe see 6 people that's going to walk up, right? So with that, I'm big on like statistics, right? So with that statistic, then to find a man that you want that's 6 feet, black, handsome, dressed well, talks well, got his teeth right, because you cut the nigga off, they ain't got good teeth, supposedly, right? They fit, and however you want him, the chances of you find that, and then you want him to live near your can't say the word right, that your vicinity, right? That area of nothing more than 4 hours. You better off going on a dating app. Go on a dating app.
Or Illinois or whatever. You know, coming from West Coast to Midwest is like a 5-hour flight.
It's a huge
6-hour
jump.
flight.
So
yeah,
let's talk about it.
You know, unless you guys are going to get hitched the next day, you know, it's a
4-hour flight.
Big commitment for a little bit of value, in my opinion.
I was
Thank
like
you.
closed off, like, because I was on multiple episodes. So the first episode I was on, I was closed off to the opportunity of, you know, connecting with somebody that wasn't in the same proximity as me or close. So I didn't really like match with anybody because I kept popping on anybody who didn't live close enough to me. But then the second time I came around the show, I was open-minded to the possibility of matching with somebody that was further away. But I understand where she's coming from.
So what?
It just depends on how actively you're looking.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel the same way.
If you're like, oh, I'll wait on it, or if you're like, oh, I want something now, you will compromise your distance.
That's true.
Definitely.
The only thing I have to say about that is I agree with what it said about the Detroit. I feel where she's coming from on that. But the one thing that I did say when I introduced myself was where I was from. I was a project manager based in Las Vegas, so I wanted to make that clear to the ladies where I was from out the gate, because if it was a distance issue, then I would like for them to pop. So
right away. Yeah.
I didn't want to waste nobody's time. If I'm being from Las Vegas, that was going to be an issue. So that's why I made it clear that I was a project manager from Las Vegas. So that's why I wanted the ladies to know where I was from, because if it was she from Detroit or, New York or something like that, if that was going to be the reason, then we could have got that out the way instead of me coming to the end and feeling like, I had that connection and I want to have that connection with that woman.
Waste your damn
it didn't go
time.
that way. So it would have saved us both a lot of time. If I would have she would have popped out the gate and
already
when made it to the end to, hear that. So that's my only thing. But I don't have no, hard feelings or nothing about it. She made her decision and she did what she felt was best for her. And that was being from Detroit, the distance was an issue. So I having a problem with it.
I feel it, and I understand what you were saying, but I missed that. I think I asked that again because I missed that.
So to be devil's
So,
advocate, exactly what you were saying as well, is like, as we were on the stage as well, sometimes you don't really
It was
fully
very
catch
low.
everything, just like
Yes.
what you
So
said
I
as well.
definitely missed that.
Sorry, right. You kind of forget everything that they say. You kind of fixated or focused
That's
on,
understandable.
either the person that you're looking at, right? You're sizing them up and down, so you're not really fully present in what they're saying, or you're fixated on one specific, thing that they said, and your mind's thinking about that instead of the question. So I can see where you could have missed that and then wanted to, hear that again.
And that's why
I agree.
asked again.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, being on this show kind of opened my mind up to long distance. Like I hit the bug, like on my way back to Atlanta. I was like, maybe I could have matched with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Because at first I didn't really get it that, we meet somebody that's across the country. But, connection is spiritual, and spiritual knows no time and knows no distance. You understand what I'm saying? So like on the way back home to Atlanta, it kind of opened me up. Just like, you know what? I don't care where she at. If obviously we need some help, that's why we on the show. So, if I'm more open to entertaining communication wise with distance.
Speak your shit. I know you're about to say some
I also
shit.
want to say, right, if you're willing to come to Phoenix to be on the show,
speak your shit. I know he's about to say.
That's because you want to be on the show. That means you can travel to go and meet the person that you're trying to build with.
Correct.
Well,
you knew what you
that's
signed
a
up for.
one-time trip versus you trying to build a relationship with somebody and then wanting you to come out every
Then
month
don't
or
come on
every
a
other
show.
week. You know what I'm saying?
But you want to be on the show. If you want to go and
To
see
be
that
on a
person,
show, you have to be open to
then
it.
you can travel.
That's
Can I
true.
chime in on that? Because that's
that means she wanted to be on the show for clout. That's what it's telling everybody. Oh my God.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. At the end of the day, God, if you really like somebody and you
gonna
feel
do
that
it.
chemistry,
gonna do what it
ladies,
takes. Catch that flight.
ladies, fellas.
So there's a saying where it says,
I don't think
go ahead.
she's
Sorry, I
finished.
didn't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt.
you keep cutting people off, bro.
You'll travel to
You fucked it up already.
But what I was trying to say is that at the end of the day, if you really, really like someone and you're super interested, now there can be other determining factors like children, whatever the situation might be that may not cause you to move. Y'all will find that job. Y'all gonna find that remote job. When you really like somebody, you gonna do what it does. Love conquers all.
That's
very
very
and
true.
like he said, we came here knowing that there's the possibility that someone is not gonna be from our town, so you
A
have
high
to come on this show
possibility.
open-minded. You have to come on this show understanding. But I get what you're saying too, like, because me too, I was kind of hoping I could meet someone that's a little closer to me, a
Approximately,
little.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, if I like you, what's up? And if you like me, what's up?
You gonna make it happen. You gonna make it happen.
No, I get what you're saying.
Because and that's why a lot of us are still single.
You're basing that off of a strong feeling. You can't get that feeling off of a couple questions with somebody.
Can I
And
say
just
something?
didn't have that feeling.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Love doesn't stay in one place. Love is not
Absolutely.
in one area. if you're struggling to find the love of your life, maybe you need to look somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
Me,
I like
me and
BM.
Arlette, we wasn't even in the same country. So just to kind of let you guys know that long distance shouldn't be something that is blocking you from finding somebody, because I'm telling you right now, if you're struggling, maybe you need to look somewhere else.
Long
It's only
distance can actually
temporary.
make your relationship a lot stronger.
It's a temporary.
Trust,
Right.
trust
And it's
factor.
temporary. One person can move. You know, I understand it can be hard, but if you find that person that is the one that you want from somewhere else, you know you're not going to get that person where you are. Maybe you need to find a way to make it work.
Right.
And that's what the show is about. I'm out.
Preach, man.
Drop mic.
I thought something was wrong with my mic.
BM talks to them.
BM talks.
BM talks.
All right. So, Rob, you got a couple of bald comments, and they also mentioned how you talk and things like that. Let's take a look at your segment.
Bald is not really my thing. I think
Man, I can't even control it.
I know. I don't mean to say it like that. It's just I feel like maybe if we were 40s and like you were bald, then it would be like different. But we're like really young.
I know.
So yeah, that's it. And then I don't want to be mean, but I just don't really like how you talk.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hi, my name is Kamina and I'm 27, and
okay,
it's just
yeah.
about the hair thing.
The slow.
All right. So, Kamina, you said it's just about the hair thing. You don't like bald either?
No, not really. I grew up all my life with my stepdad being bald, to be honest.
Oh.
Yeah.
The stepdaddy. Here we go.
I don't have a lot
Everybody
of
look like a
It's just
stepdaddy.
that, I like a particular look for me as well, too. Just like everybody has their type. And it's just, for me, bald is just not for me. And I've seen that too many times growing up with my stuff. I just prefer hair. But, once I'd be an old woman, I probably wouldn't care. But as me right now, as a young lady,
That's
I want
what
a man
I
with
was
hair on his
saying.
head.
That's all I was saying.
That's it. Okay.
Bald just mean a lot of testosterone, ladies. They got that,
I don't care what it means. I like a man with hair.
All right. So, Ish, you kind of mentioned how he talks was one of the reasons you popped. How does he talk? What was it?
He's a little bit too soft spoken for me. With the woman that I know that I am, maybe more assertion.
Okay.
And that shows a lot, about a person, the way they speak. The way they speak. So the really soft spokenness, like it just didn't tickle my fancy.
So
She likes your fancy tickle.
have you ever gotten that before about you're too soft spoken for me? or-
Actually, no, I have not. I get very smoothing, right?
You made that word up.
I've never had is so soft. I've been like, hey, you calm down my temperament, and especially after a long day of working or going out there in the world, like I've said before on the catch up, there's a time and place for everything. If I gotta raise my voice and assert dominance, I'll do that. Like, it's no problem. But for me,
I like the way you talk. I'm not gonna lie. You speak very well. You articulate yourself very well. You sound very well educated. Personally, I just don't like the hood scrimp fold like 5, 6, 7, Kodak Black. You speak like a man who has an education. You speak like a man with wisdom and knowledge. So I beg to differ.
It's a match.
I just like the way I like the way he talks. That's all.
Okay.
yeah. So yes, I got him that. And then in terms of the bald comment,
Right.
you know what they say? The most successful people in the world are bald. Just let you know.
Screaming. Is that what they say?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's because of stress.
So yours is because of stress.
I used to have a big old bunch of hair, man.
This is stress.
And too much stress made all the hair go.
Hey, every day I woke up, it was another hair follicle on my pillow.
Rob, bye.
but you know, I love being bald. I wouldn't change it for the world, you know. So shout out to all my bald brothers out there.
And I just can I
Shout out to the bald men.
Take
can
the
I
head
set
off.
the record straight?
Show the ball.
Can I set the record straight? Because a lot of people have something to say about the fact that I waited to pop Maul's balloon and he was bald too. Now listen, I'm not saying that every bald person on the face of this earth I'm not, interested in or I'm not attracted to. It's just that for me, that is a really big thing. And in that situation, like I didn't like it with you. No offense, you're handsome, everything, like I said before.
Appealing.
But I don't think that
You like that hood nigga.
because that's not my preference. Like
Yeah,
I can't
that's
have
very cool.
exceptions to that.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody has exceptions to that. Like if you are a guy that's like, oh, I love light skinned women, that doesn't mean that you would never be attracted to a brown skin or a dark skin.
That's true.
Right.
That is true.
So
That's
the
very
fact
true.
that I said that, I feel like I got chewed up online about that. Like, well, you can't blah, 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 blah. And I'll explain it like I explained it before. Like he said, his hair follicles was leaving him. Jamal's hair follicles was not leaving him. He was just bald. He was shaved really low.
Who's Jamal?
Maul.
He ended up
Maul.
Maul.
Okay.
No,
All
he's
right.
not, he's not true bald.
So yeah, he's
Anyway.
not a true bald.
Not
He
true
just
bald.
shaves his hair.
Yeah, we don't associate.
See
true
what I'm
bald
saying?
people.
You're a true
Yeah,
bald.
You don't understand the
clubs.
pain, man.
Rob says,
No,
stop
but that's
attacking
not
me.
the truth. Yeah, she prefer a guy if he has hair, but she found more attractive, so she was willing to give him a shot with his baldness. It's not that you was losing hair, he's not losing hair, he could grow it. It wasn't that. She found him sexy, and she didn't find you sexy because the way you talk, it wasn't appealing. It's not manly. Let's just be real. It's not manly. You come in there with the fucking dog. You talk like, yeah, I just wanted to find somebody I like. Don't pop the balloon on me. No, nobody, women don't want that. They want a man with some balls, man. Come on.
All right. Anyway, so
I have one more thing to say.
Oh, go ahead.
And about the whole bald thing, because I know a lot of people are gonna get on me. Oh, you're gonna let the bald thing get in the way. It's just kind of like, I think it's like people just pick what to be mad at. Because I got popped on.
Yeah.
Because my hair was no, not because my hair. A girl got popped on because her hair was too long. I got popped on because I had too much makeup or glitter. It's kind of like, okay, so why do people nitpick on what they want to call people out for? But I'm gonna get ate up because I said I don't like him because he's bald. Why didn't the other guy why did everybody roll up and the other guy said he didn't like me because of my makeup? Or because, okay, so Maul popped on a girl because she had glitter on her chest. I popped because I have glitter on my chest. It's kind of like we kind of pop for the same thing. So it's just like people like what they like, regardless of what the next person think. If you like how he speaks, you like how he speaks, but she don't like how he speaks. We're just all different in a way. I just don't like bald guys. And I feel like I shouldn't be getting attacked because what do you guys want me to do? Oh, you're bald. Okay, I'm gonna just be with you just to make the comments happy.
Why is
it's
Can I?
my life. I
I'm
just
trying
don't
to
like
catch
bald
it.
guys. Either
I'm
you
catch
take it or you leave.
Why is her nails like that? It's pissing me off.
Okay, I was gonna say that earlier.
Love it.
Why is your nail so long? Here it is. Why is your nail so long?
okay, let's move on to our next clip. So our next clip actually does involve Kamina, aka Haitian Doll.
Hi, my name is Kamina. I'm 27, and I popped my balloon. You're not ugly. It is the haircut for sure
Okay.
because. Long story. Somebody that I dealt with had that same haircut. It's just
Okay.
PTSD, low key.
Okay, wait. One
but
of them
you-
haircuts. Yeah.
But I healed from that moment. I'm able to say right then and there, this is what gives me trauma. And I do not want to wake up to man every day to see that haircut. And it's just going to bring back memories of what happened to me. So
Her family.
So Kamina,
So serious. I was upset, y'all.
So Kamina, yeah, as we just saw on Pop the Balloon, you were like, oh, PTSD, low key, and it was like kind of like it didn't seem as serious. But then when we spoke about it on BM Talks to them, it was like a different tone that you had towards the situation. Can you talk to us about
Yes,
that?
and I want to apologize for even coming on the podcast like that, Arlette. It was just, it's different when you're saying it to somebody on the show, like, okay, PTSD, whatever the case is, because it is true. The story is true. And people might think it's crazy, because there's times when I see a guy with that haircut, I'm like, oh, it reminds me of that person, and whatever the case is.
That
So,
sounds like you're not
the
healed.
comment was
You're not
very
healed.
honest and true, but it's just kind of like it's different when you're watching it on the podcast and you're seeing people actually laugh about it. And you're not there to kind of defend or talk about it. It's just being talked and you're not there. And it's just being kind of like, from what I took it as being made of a joke. So that's where it kind of came from. I'm like, okay, so I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, it's being talked about, well, I'm not there. And it just seems like it's being more of a joke, but it's more different if I'm there to say it myself on the show. I don't know, I can't really explain what I'm trying to really say, but it was just a little bit hurtful because I did talk to Kendall outside of the show, and I did tell him, I told him about the haircut thing because he asked, why'd you pop on me? And I'm like, I wasn't lying. I did have somebody that I messed with always had that same haircut every time I see it. It reminds me of him, and it does bring back some type of PTSD for me because the whole relationship was just very terrible. So yeah, and the fact that, I think that's what also made me mad. The fact that I told him that and I saw him on the show just laughing about that too. It just kind of made me just kind of mad at him, and just, I shouldn't have been mad about everybody else because like you said, everybody didn't know it was kind of like, a joke, but Kendall kind of knew exactly what it was, and for him to do that, and it just made me kind of like be upset. So that's what that was about.
Quick question, because I noticed with yours, right? You said a lot of comparisons with your family.
Yeah.
What's that about? Like, you compared every male
everything to everybody.
Not my family. First of all, my cousin's baby daddy. The only one that I compared, with my family was him. And I would even say the guy's really family. He's my mom's best friend. His name is Jonas, and he looks just like him. And us Haitian has that exotic look, and I'm gonna just bring that out. Shout out to my Zoe. Haitians are very beautiful. I mean, look at me, look at her. And look at him, even though you're not Haitian, you look very beautiful people. I love my people, but it's just kind of like when you grow up with certain people that I don't know, it's just he looks a lot like Jonas, but I don't know, maybe I know a lot of people. A lot of people know who I'm probably around a lot of people. So yeah, a lot of people do look like other people. Not trying to, make it seem like, oh, you look like this, bro. It's just what it is for me.
Can I say something to you?
Yeah, go ahead.
I love you. As my Haitian sister.
Yeah, go ahead.
You got to let that go.
Yeah, thank you.
Holding on to other, because at the end of the day, somebody's gonna always kind of look like someone. Like you just said, a lot of people. So you're gonna be able to find something in everybody that reminds you of somebody, but don't let that hold you from your body.
I mean, I'm looking
your
at
person.
A lot of people right now, they don't remind me of a lot.
I think I get what Kamina's saying, because we had a conversation off screen. Like, my brothers are handsome. Like, I have a handsome family. But I would never date a guy that looked like my brother because you remind me of my brother. Like, I'm going to think about my brother when I see you. So the fact that they remind her of somebody that familiar to her, I think that's where she's coming from. And I wouldn't dabble in that either. Like, even if I did think they were attractive, because it's like, you're going to remind me of my brother. Like, oh, you look like my brother. Get away from me. Like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to kiss you. I don't want to cuddle you. Like, that's just the energy that I have because you resemble somebody that's on that level with me. And I think that's what it is. Not saying that she's comparing everybody to people she likes or just trying to find a reason to not like somebody. Like, if it's not there, it's just not there.
Yeah.
So I get you, sister.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's like a lot of people in this room right now, and I don't really think anybody besides you two look like somebody.
I mean,
I'm just saying, it's just what it is. Just being honest.
Got it. And then now the word group chat was thrown around so many times. So let's take a look at this short clip.
Yeah, so going to the podcast you guys did with the boys, I was pretty shocked because we've been in this group chat, I believe, for 2 weeks, maybe, I don't know, and we were thinking everything's cool, everything's okay. And to just see the stuff they said about us that they knew completely was not true about us. They know us from a different level of just the show that we filmed.
You perceive people in a certain way, especially with how they present themselves on camera, and getting to know the guys behind the scene. Thought I built really good friendships with them, but seeing the podcast and how it played out, it was giving very much Black women aren't protected, and I didn't necessarily agree with that. I'm sure they lead overall good lives. I just didn't like the way that they, like Carrington said, doubled down on how we were, these terrible Black women, and getting to know them and hearing the positive things that they were saying about us, and then to go out on the internet and completely flip the script. It was like absolutely mind-blowing. It was like blindly raging to see that they did us like that.
Okay, so this group chat, was it everyone from the episode in one group chat together? Is that what this was? Or?
Let me just say,
mostly everyone.
Go ahead, Tiffany. Let me just say, as soon as I left that building, I said, "Don't add me to no dang group chats."
Oh,
I've been through this before. I was on a previous episode, so I know how messy it can get. So I said, "Don't add me to the group chat. I don't want to be no part."
The group chat started.
Mike.
The group chat started as guys. All right, it was.
You started as the guys?
I started it as guys.
Okay.
When me, Tiffany, Maul, and his date, we matched first on the show. We left. I don't know who added everybody, but when we left, everybody was in the group chat.
Besides me.
And then it became a communion. It became a family reunion. And then once the community of people who saw the show came into it, we fell apart. Like people just broke us apart. That's just what happened.
Well, I mean, it sounds like y'all said things though. So what is it? Because how did community change?
Okay, let's hear from. I think Jason. Go ahead, Jason.
So the way the group chat got started, where all of us got into it, was because the night that we had the show, we decided to all go out.
Okay.
And so to find where everybody was going to go, we created the group chat, right? So that's how that happened. Kind of to what DJ was saying, there was some skerfuffles and things that started to happen as the show got released, as there was difference of opinions, there was responses of like the comments being sent, all that kind of stuff. I guess from my perspective, like some of the ladies were saying on there, I was confused on the part of like not protecting Black women or what that meant. From our episode, none of us said anything derogatory, rude, crass, or anything like that to any of the women, especially them as Black women. We told our experience on the show. We responded to some of the things that were said about us, but none of us were coming at Black women, coming at them at all, or anything like that. And so that was super confusing to us as guys. Even people in the comments are like, what are they talking about? There's nobody coming for them as, Black women or whatever. And then too, even if that was the case, it was weird to me because it was like, well, on the show, if you're saying coming at Black women, what do you call it when you're telling a Black man that his teeth are, horrible in front of, millions of people? What is that? Is that protecting Black men? So all of that was like super confusing to me.
So just to touch on what I said, the protect Black women thing was not that you guys were attacking us, is that you knew who we were as women behind the scenes, and you seen what the internet said about us, and you guys had the opportunity, the platform, the time, the space to be like, hey, you guys should stop talking about these women in that way. We've met them on this level and they're this way, and they're like, you had the platform to clear that up.
Why do they need to?
And you didn't do anything.
You popped on them.
Are you saying
so you wanted
to people like to comment on the comments, or what are you specifically saying we should have done?
You had like I said, you had the opportunity to speak up for us in a positive light. Like, let's not act like we're not on these platforms and we have a certain level of power.
They don't owe you nothing.
There were episodes where, the women said something about, whatever.
You made yourself look like that.
You had the guys clap back in a negative way or be sassy or whatever. And, there wasn't really much scrutiny toward, I'm not going to say there wasn't any scrutiny toward the women, because I'm sure anybody and everybody has something to say, but we got it the worst, I think, because we were being honest. We were being asked to be specific about these things. And because you guys, portrayed yourselves, in a way where it's like, okay, you were nice, laid back. You were kind of like
chill.
In a way, the
gentleman?
internet seen it as you guys were taking the jabs and you guys were just these upstanding men and we were just these terrible women. That's literally how they were portraying us in the comments. So because you guys knew that, we talked about that every single day in the chat after reading those comments, and you knew these things, you could have went on that platform and be like, hey, we got to know these women. They're nothing like what the comments are saying. And that's what I mean by protect. You didn't have to not attack us. You could have used that platform, that space to give a positive light to what we were going through.
I feel like
you did not do that.
I feel like everybody is just now meeting each other. Honestly, I feel what you're saying, but I feel like it's nobody's job to take up for you. I matched with TJ, and so many people call me Go Diggers because he's a children's book author and I'm a dancer. I didn't ask him to cape up for me.
Yeah,
everybody, we're all grown here. We're big women, we're big men.
Exactly.
Stand up for yourself.
I don't think that's
still
fair.
gonna think what they want.
I think that goes to the men on the show too. If they were holding themselves in a respectful way on the show, like I feel like that was good enough to not bounce back at you.
Because just like we could have gone on that show and clapped that ass and been an asshole,
crashed out,
right?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's fair for you to expect us to do something, because we're all busy men. We all have things that we're doing, day in, day out. I mean,
what did that have to do with the podcast? We're not asking you to defend us every day online or anything like that. And I'm not even asking you to go online and just be like, just defend us. But the responses that I got from the podcast, like furthering that, it just further prove that it's like, oh, okay, yeah, these were these good men and they just happened to get trapped with these bad women. Not saying y'all had any responsibility to do that, but
You just said that.
you didn't. Like it didn't give like it didn't give the men that I met in that chat. I thought we were like genuinely like, I don't know. It gave genuine at first. I felt like you guys were like just good in that way, but when you guys went on a podcast, it didn't give what the guys.
So what did you want us to do?
Danny wanted to
Yeah, exactly. What did you want him to do?
Well, I had a similar experience with the first lady, Sandra, when they kept calling her a gold digger. I didn't look at her like that, but it's almost impossible to save.
Yeah, you can't control the narrative.
Yeah, it's like a unflood. It's like when it drops and a guy dodges gold digger. And you know what I'm saying? I was like, I reached out to her. I was like, I'm sorry that they thought that. Like, you just, every time I said something, she's not a gold digger. Never thought that. It's just like, it just goes in. It's like throwing a pebble into the ocean.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just almost
Yeah.
impossible. You know what I'm saying? To defend
Why
anybody.
care what other people think? If you knew and we knew that you were great people, that's all it should have been. It doesn't matter what other people think. You can't change their opinions.
And I was just gonna say that it's your job to be secure and confident within
with
yourself. You know, and this is not to like, you know, but I'm not saying that you're not. But at the end of the day, like it's our job to be secure in ourselves that no matter what anybody says,
for what?
We know who we are. So I could care less what anybody has to say because I know who I am. So I wouldn't need you to defend me. I wouldn't need to defend myself to all the comments out there.
Right.
I know who I am.
You stand on
Period.
what you
Like
said.
Okay, so
Mina first.
hold on. I have just something to say about that, where she's coming from. First off, everybody has their opinion about the situation, but being in the situation is different from what you guys think. To have somebody sit here and smile on my face every day, make plans of we should do this, we should go here, we should blah blah, thinking everything's just so cool, and then you go on the podcast, the energy's so different. That's you don't have to defend me. I don't care. I don't care for the comments. I've been in the limelight. I've been viral for other things too. I get bad comments and good comments. I don't care. It's just that I don't like people in my face smiling, acting like they're my friends, acting like we're good, and then you go on something else. And then there's way more stuff
What did
even
they say?
happening in that
They didn't
chat
say nothing
prior
bad
to that
about
too. It's
y'all.
not just, whatever. I'm not even gonna get into
Well,
that, but it's
speak on
just
it.
seeing that kind of made me look at y'all different. And you're right. The fact that, I saw that, okay, so they switched up, they went on the podcast, said what they said, and after we've been making plans, doing whatever you want to say, that just tells me I'm not gonna no longer talk to you. I left the chat and I saw what it was, and that's just what it is.
So hold on, guys. Hold on. I know this is a juicy topic. So what's one thing bad that they said about you guys when they were on the podcast?
Right. Thank you. Let's go.
One thing that I heard was how we embarrassed African American men, or as African American men, we're putting
None
you
of them
guys
said that.
down.
How
And
we went on camera and broke down black
men, and there's another one
But
saying
is that what they said on the podcast or what
Yes.
viewers were saying?
That's what they said on the podcast.
The men on the show?
I don't remember saying
didn't
that.
say that.
Who said it?
I did not say that. And
Replay.
we did not
I'm
say
sure we
that.
can find a clip.
Okay, let's hear from TJ. Go ahead, TJ.
All right, so I wasn't on the podcast, so I have no fight in this. All right. Me and Maul had matches, so it was for the unmatched people.
Correct.
So when I look back at the episode, they will tell you I left the group chat because I didn't watch.
TJ
it.
Mike.
They will tell you I left the group chat because I was like, "Why did y'all upset them?" Was that true? Is that true? I remember I left the group chat. Like I was like, "You guys upset them. I'm leaving." It was because they said that you guys were talking about them in a bad way. I went back and watched the episode. It was a couple statements in there that was probably offensive,
Okay.
but
Do you remember such as
it
what?
was the white women comment. What white
In the
white?
podcast?
It was that's the only thing I remember. And it was the doubling back that some of them doubled back.
I don't want to say anything about white women.
I feel like we just answered the questions that was brought to us. That's all.
It was those two comments that I heard. That was it. So it was they doubled back on some certain women. I mean, if you let me finish, I'll say it.
Okay. Go ahead, TJ.
So it was somebody said in the podcast that y'all was doubling back and that they didn't mean to pop their balloon.
Are you talking about the women's podcast?
Yeah.
They're talking about
No.
Okay.
That the men said that they was doubling, the women were doubling back on them and that they were regretful for popping their balloon.
Oh.
And the women was like, we ain't want y'all. Like we stood on business. And so they felt like y'all was lying about doubling back. And the second thing was somebody did mention this is a problem in the Black community, and that with white women, that's the second comment.
So there was a miss.
Okay, hold on. I know. First of all, I don't know anything about this doubling back situation. I don't remember that at all. Said in the whole podcast.
I do remember that comment.
You do remember that?
Yeah. They just basically said like, oh, off the camera, it was different. They wish they would have not have paused.
But that's not doubling back. That is the energy that we said. Okay, on camera, right? You know, these women said yada yada yada. But when we met them off camera, they were very cool.
Oh, okay.
That's what we meant by that. Okay. Second part of that with the white women, I don't know anybody said anything about white women. I mentioned the Black community. What's wrong with the Black community is that a lot of us look at materialistic things instead of things that really matter. And the other races,
we dead do.
I don't know. I didn't say white women. I said the other races don't do that as much.
Is that because you are you? What is your what is your dating preference? Are you typically dabbling in
You know what she's trying
that
to say. What does that
understand?
have to do with my question?
Because you're talking about the Black community. So do you go and date?
So is this
white
true though, what I said?
I think that's the point she's trying to get to is are
that
you
why
with other
you're-
races? Are you a
Oh,
part
yeah,
of the
he's in
other
his-
races?
I think
Like
he is.
for you to be able to say that, like Black people, we always talk about our race and what the issue is with our race because it is our race and we know that and we are constantly putting our business out there where other races aren't doing that. And if we're not involved in all these other races, then how do we know that that's a thing? How do we know that that's a fact?
Okay, so what I'm referring to is the music that we listen to, the way we speak about our women. Okay, that's what I'm referring to as when I say the Black culture. Our culture is messed up.
Exactly. That's
When you
what he
listen to
means.
rap,
Come on.
it's derogatory. It puts down women. It's talking about money, cars, yada
Clothes,
yada.
materialistic
You listen to
shit.
Spanish music, white music.
They
not
talk
white
about
music, but
love.
country. You know, you know, whatever type of races, they don't talk about those things, right? And that is what's holding our community back. Is that this is what we glorify is the materialistic BS, and that's what I meant by that. It wasn't no attack on you guys. It wasn't no attack on a single individual. I was talking it as a whole race and culture, and that's it.
And I'm done.
All right. Well, any final thoughts about anything we talked about, maybe anything we missed, whatever it is, if you want to throw on there. Go ahead, Jason.
So I think so something that wasn't on camera, but the whole thing of protecting or not protecting. So with the situation that you're saying where we didn't do that or whatever, and you're saying how you could have had the opportunity, for me, that's something that is big in general. If I look at something, I'm seeing somebody from the show or a show in general get really blasted with something that's ridiculous. From the episode when I matched with Charisma, right? There was an Instagram or a YouTube video made by some guys that was extremely derogatory, demeaning. They were saying all kinds of nonsense about her. And this is not me being, superhero, but I made a response video to what they were saying because I shamed them as grown Black men about the things they were saying about another Black woman on a platform, right? It was disgusting, it was demeaning. And that's a situation where, I'm not, some captain, but at the same time, like if I'm ever as a Black man in general, seeing a woman being, hurt or something extremely demeaning or derogatory, I'm going to step in. So I guess for me to hear that, it was kind of like, what do you mean? But at the same time, like for us, it wasn't like you were saying we could change a narrative. It was more so us responding to things. And I don't think it was in that situation needful for us to come on and just say, hey, we should have
These women are
responded badly
great.
to them, because I don't think it was that they said wrong things. What everything they said, even on the show, was their preference. The reason, like Ish said, the reason it got highlighted was because of the way that we responded.
You handled it.
And I said,
The way you handled
the thing is, when you have guys on the platform that have motion outside the show, they're not going to be like crashing out on the show when something's said about them. It's just like, okay, it is what it is.
Okay.
So
yeah. Any other final thoughts?
I just want to say thank you to you, Arlette. Thank you to BM for just you guys having a true passion. A lot of people you'll see in the comments, this is staged.
Kinda
This is
changes
fake. Oh, you can really tell at this point, this is staged. This is a wife and a husband who truly want to connect people and really want people to find love it's happened. While there hasn't been a lot of matches, and even though there has been matches, and some of the matches didn't last, like mine, there is true intent in this show, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I was able to come on and inspire people. I didn't mean to pull my wig off, but you know, yeah, that I just want to say thanks.
I agree with what she. I want to top on or piggyback on what she just said as far as you and BM. Like, I don't think people understand that you guys are opening up your platform to kind of like help other people bring their platform up. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I swear to God, I didn't know nothing about this social media stuff. The Instagram been popping lately. Like, I don't, people on the DMs and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I stream on Twitch. So like all that carries over to my Twitch. And that's because of you guys. Like, and that's like, that just shows the unselfishness of you guys to actually put that out there. And you know what I mean? Like, allow, like, you guys aren't hating or saying, oh, you don't get my viewers or don't, you know what I mean? Like, you guys are actually pushing for that. So that's a big ups to you guys for real.
Thank you. My final thoughts would be to never, you know, there's more to people what meets the eye. I came on here and I said my profession, and everybody had, you know, things to say, preconceived notions about me, but I'm glad I was able to showcase my personality. And I can only thank you and BM for that. Like I said, all these people have different personalities, different stories, and it's very interesting to get to know each and every one of you because, you know, you all have a story to tell and, you know, places you want to be. And I really like respect the platform because it has helped me, you know, showcase who I actually am.
Thank you. Danny?
Well, like I was saying, being on the show opened my mind up to saying my love may not be in Atlanta. You know, there's a lot of good women across the country, and it slowed me down actually for looking for love. It's like, you know, you can find a $20 bill, but you discover treasure. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna let the love that I've been looking for come to me. And so that's why I appreciate this platform, because it's like, I think all these women are good. Especially in the lineup I had, I think all of them found something else. Like, dang. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna slow down and just focus even more. So it just really tuned me into, let me just be my complete self, because all the brothers are good, the women are good. It's just like, it's a lot of good people in the world. And then when we get to bring the positivity out of the situation, I think we be able to uplift each other, you know, because it's entertainment at the same time. So they hone in on the negative aspects of it. But when we really hone in, it's like, dang, us as a people, we do need to come together, and then we get these matches, and then you be able to start family, and that's what creates generational wealth. You know, then we'll be able to find the positive aspect in what you're doing, because the goal is like what y'all two have, BM and Arlette, y'all power team, y'all power couple, and y'all trying to put that out there. And, you know, so that's what I got from the show, and I just appreciate that, you know.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Yeah, I was just gonna.
I gotta hear. I was gonna end it, but I gotta hear what you
BM and Arlette, obviously, the platform is amazing.
Well, now you want to thank them.
You give people a space to grow, even if it's not within a relationship, and I really appreciate that. One thing I will say is, for the people out there that are watching, you know, these shows, not just this one, but in general, you have to realize the internet is not really a real place. Like, you guys were saying so many awful things, and not just about me, you know, about a lot of the people that are sitting on this couch, and even the ones that didn't make it to this couch. You do not know these people, and let's not pretend like you guys are out there perfect, because unless y'all are married and in a happy one at that, you could be married and unhappy. Unless y'all are in a happy marriage, you know, with finances all together and your life is just perfect, you have absolutely no room to judge or talk about people that are sitting on this couch or that just, you know, happen to cross your screen one day. And stop going out of y'all way to be mean to people, because you don't know how it affects somebody's day. Like, I'm a pretty strong person, but I was damn near blocking 10 people a day when the show first aired, because you guys were saying all types of negative things about me. And for that to affect my day, I really don't be caring what nobody say for real, but for that to affect my day, that gave me a new perspective on how I am going to decide to carry myself on these social media platforms, on the internet. I'm a lot nicer. I'm a lot more graceful. Not saying that I was mean or anything, but I'm a lot more graceful on these platforms because you just really don't know that person for real and you don't know what they're going through. So be nicer and stay blessed out here.
Yes. Amen. I second that.
All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I can't believe I just stayed through 2 hours of this shit. But anyway, I appreciate everybody who's watching. I bet you nobody stayed 2 hours of this shit. But if you did, shout out to you. I appreciate you, man. Now, this is my final thoughts, right? I think actually I like the lineup, right? They're mature people. They're cool. She's a little off the liquor. I don't know. She's a little off the map, right? I can tell she's a cool person, but she's too into her head. This woman right here, I actually love what she said. I loved what she said. When she mentioned the whole 50-50 thing and stuff, the type of woman she is, I could just tell her aura gives that she's just a good-hearted woman, right? This woman right here, I think she's gorgeous. She's very gorgeous. And yes, you don't truly judge a person, but at the same time, too, you are what you are, how you present yourself. And then you presented yourself in one way. That's why the world looked at you that way. So you have to understand that, too. You have to take some type of accountability for the way you look and what you said and how you act. That's why the world is treating you like that, because that's how you presented yourself, right? So you can't blame the world for presenting yourself like that. Like if a woman acts like a hoe, dresses like a hoe, I'm going to treat her like a hoe. But not saying you a hoe, but it is true too. You don't really know them. So all the hateful messages you're sending to people, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Like, why are you sending hateful messages? Like, if you don't like somebody or like what they said, then let it be, right? And move on. This woman right here, I think she actually is a sweet, wholesome woman. It's just that unfortunately, what you do don't align to what a man wants in a woman. Right? It just would never match like that. And the only man that's going to take a stripper is a simp, right? Because most men who stand on business and who has preferences and knows what they want, they're not going to deal with a woman who's a stripper. Like I wouldn't advise if I had a kid, I would advise my son to do that. I wouldn't advise my cousins to do it, any of my male cousins. Women should advise their kid to do it. You should advise your children. If you have like a little boy, you should advise him to date a stripper. Come on now. Stop. Right? My cool guy here, if you'd have wear this outfit on the first time you went, you'd have probably had some balloons left. Some. You'd have some balloons left, but you didn't. That's why they popped to you, bro. To be real with you. Because you did look like a bozo when you first popped out. Just dead ass. You look like a Super Mario, like a browser or whatever that little dudes are. Shorty right here, I love the fact that she called people on her bullshit, and I love the fact that she called people on their bullshit, the women, because a lot of women don't like to call other women on their bullshit. They believe in it's that feminine, I can protect this girl shit. But no, when they say something stupid, they commented, and I respect that. I love this woman. This woman is cool, right? She needs some growing up to do. She ain't learned nothing. And she got a lot of past trauma that she just would never admit, obviously, because she don't want to admit it. But she has a lot of past trauma she got to get over. This guy right here with the dog, you kept cutting people off. I think he's a good guy, though, but you kept cutting people off and stuff like that. And the way you talk is technically to women want to be appealing, but he does talk very correctly, right? And the rest of the brothers look good too, man. This reunion was actually pretty good. I'm tired, y'all. I spent 2 hours doing this. I'm fucking tired. And then I gotta do other stuff just to post this video. Why did I just sign up to be a YouTuber? Nah, fuck that. I do it for y'all. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for commenting. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. And to the next time. Peace.